The rehearsal room hums with life. Voices overlap, feet shuffle across the worn wooden floor, and the faint scent of chalk dust lingers in the air. I stand center stage, my script clutched tightly in one hand as I gesture wildly with the other. No, no, no. I snap, cutting off Lila midline. You're rushing it. This isn't just dialogue, it's a confession. Feel the weight of her betrayal. Lila rolls her eyes but doesn't argue. She steps back into position, muttering something under her breath that sounds suspiciously like, "It's not my fault your writing is so melodramatic." My jaw tightens, but I force myself to smile. It's not the first time she's made a jab at my work, and it won't be the last. Still, there's an edge to her tone today that feels sharper than usual. This play, it's everything to me. Months of sleepless nights, endless rewrites, and countless arguments have gone into crafting this story. And now, with opening night only weeks away, we're set to premiere at one of the most prestigious festivals in the country. If this goes well, it could change everything for me. Recognition, funding, maybe even opportunities beyond theater. For once, I feel like I'm on the verge of something monumental. But Lila, she's always been a shadow looming over my success. Growing up, she trailed behind me like a lost puppy, desperate for attention. Yet every accomplishment of mine felt like a personal affront to her. I remember the day I won first place in our high school drama competition. I was ecstatic holding up my trophy when I caught sight of her face in the crowd. Her lips pressed into a thin line, eyes burning with envy. That look haunted me for years. Maya. Lila's voice pulls me from my thoughts. She's staring at me expectantly, waiting for direction. But there's a flicker of irritation in her expression. Are you even listening? Or are you too busy daydreaming about your next award? I exhale sharply, ignoring the jab. Let's take 5, I say, waving everyone off. The cast scatters, leaving me alone with Lila. She flops onto a nearby chair, stretching her legs out dramatically. You know, she says after a moment, her tone softer now, almost nostalgic. We used to talk about doing projects like this together. Remember? Back when we were kids, scribbling scripts on notebook paper and putting on shows for Mom and Dad. For a brief second, I let myself soften. Those memories are buried deep, but they're still there. 2 little girls giggling under the covers, dreaming of Broadway lights and standing ovations. Yeah, I murmur, leaning against the edge of the stage. We did, didn't we? Lila smiles, but it doesn't reach her eyes. There's something hollow about it, like she's performing for me instead of genuinely reminiscing. Before I can dwell on it further, Greg, the co-producer, steps into the room. He glances around nervously before motioning for Lila to join him near the door. They huddle close, their voices low but urgent. I catch fragments, too risky. If she finds out, timing is crucial, but nothing concrete. My stomach twists, unease prickling at the edges of my mind. They glance toward me briefly, and I quickly look away, pretending to adjust the lighting rig above. When Lila returns, she's all business again, barking orders at the crew and snapping at anyone who crosses her path. Her mood swings lately have been unpredictable, and while part of me wants to confront her, another part tells me to focus on the play. Stress does strange things to people, right? As the rehearsal resumes, I try to shake off the nagging feeling that something isn't right. But as I watch Lila deliver her lines with venomous precision, I can't help wondering if she's acting, or if she's already practicing for a role I don't yet understand. By the end of the session, exhaustion weighs heavily on my shoulders. As I gather my things, I overhear Greg whispering urgently to Lila again. This time his words send a chill down my spine. Just stick to the plan. We'll make sure she takes the fall. My heart pounds in my chest, but I keep my back turned, pretending not to hear. Stick to what plan? What fall? Before I can piece it together, Lila calls out to me. Hey, Maya, don't forget, we're grabbing dinner later, right? Just us. Like old times. Her smile is warm, inviting, but her words ring hollow. Something is wrong. Terribly wrong. And whatever it is, it's coming for me. The theater is eerily quiet after everyone leaves. The hum of the fluorescent lights above feels deafening in the stillness, and I sit alone at the director's table, surrounded by scattered scripts, highlighters, and empty coffee cups. Something about tonight's rehearsal didn't sit right with me. Lila's mood swings, Greg's furtive whispers, the cryptic comment about the plan. My gut tells me to dig deeper, so I pull out my laptop and start reviewing old drafts of the script. As I scroll through the files, a line catches my eye, a line I don't remember writing. It's subtle, almost imperceptible unless you're looking for it, but it sends a jolt of recognition through me. "You always take what's mine," one character says bitterly to another. That wasn't in the original draft. I wrote this play as a fictional exploration of betrayal, not a mirror of my own life, or so I thought. But now, staring at those words, I can't ignore how eerily similar they are to things Lila has said to me over the years. My pulse quickens as I skim further. More lines pop out, small adjustments, seemingly insignificant on their own, but together they form a pattern. Each tweak adds venom, resentment, even outright accusations. Lines we rehearsed today, moments where Lila delivered her lines with such venomous precision. It wasn't acting. She was speaking directly to me, hiding daggers in plain sight. I feel sick, not just because she manipulated my work, but because I trusted her enough to let her play the lead role in something so deeply personal. Was this all part of some twisted game? Did she rewrite these lines herself, or did someone else put her up to it? My hands tremble as I open the email folder linked to the production. At first glance, everything seems normal. Notes from collaborators, casting decisions, budget approvals. Then I see it, an unfamiliar thread flagged as urgent. The subject line reads, "Plagiarism allegations against Maya Reynolds." My breath catches in my throat as I click it open. Attached is a PDF of another playwright's unpublished manuscript, side by side with excerpts from my script. The similarities are damning, too close to be coincidence. Except I know I didn't plagiarize. Every word of this play came from years of sleepless nights and relentless passion. Someone forged this evidence. And then it hits me like a punch to the gut. Lila. Greg. Their whispered conversations backstage. Stick to the plan. Make sure she takes the fall. This isn't just sabotage, it's destruction. They're framing me for plagiarism to ruin my career and replace me with her. My vision blurs as anger and despair crash over me in waves. How could she do this? My own sister. All those childhood dreams of working together, of creating art side by side, they were lies. Just like her smiles during rehearsals, just like her invitation to dinner tonight. But there's no time to wallow. A notification pops up on my phone, a text from an unknown number. The message is brief, cold, and cruel. Word travels fast in this industry. By tomorrow, everyone will know what kind of thief you really are. It's Greg. He's already leaked the rumors. Panic claws at my chest, but I force myself to breathe. If I don't act now, my reputation will be destroyed before opening night. I'll lose more than just this play. I'll lose everything I've worked for. I grab my bag and rush toward the exit, my mind racing. There has to be a way to turn this around, to expose them before they destroy me. But as I step outside into the cool night air, I hear footsteps behind me. Turning sharply, I see Lila leaning against the building, arms crossed, watching me with an unreadable expression. "You leaving already?" she asks, her voice light, almost playful. Too casual, like she knows exactly what I've uncovered. "I could ask you the same thing," I reply, forcing calm into my tone. She shrugs, pushing off the wall and walking closer. Her eyes glint under the streetlight as she tilts her head, studying me. "You seem tense. Everything okay?" For a moment, I consider confronting her, telling her I know what she's done, demanding answers. But something stops me. That smug look on her face, It tells me she thinks she's won, that she believes I'm powerless to stop her. Instead, I smile, a brittle, hollow curve of my lips. Just tired, I say softly. Long day. Lila nods, though her gaze lingers a beat too long. Well, rest up. You've got a big week ahead of you. Her words hang heavy in the air as she walks away, leaving me standing there in the dark. What am I going to do? I spend the entire night rewriting the script. The original version was raw and personal, but this is a weapon. Each scene becomes a reflection of my life with Lila. Our childhood rivalry, her constant need for validation, and now her betrayal. I pour every ounce of anger, hurt, and frustration into the dialogue, crafting lines so sharp they could cut glass. In one scene, the protagonist confronts her sibling-turned-antagonist, accusing them of stealing not just their work, but their identity. "You think wearing my face makes you me?" the character spits out. "You'll never be enough." It's cryptic enough to seem fictional, yet anyone who knows us would see the truth beneath the words. As dawn breaks, I sit back and stare at the screen. The play has transformed from a story about betrayal to our story. Every line is a thread pulling tighter around Lila, binding her to her own web of deceit. For the first time since discovering their plan, I feel a flicker of control. But it's fleeting. Next, I turn to the forged emails. My hands shake as I boot up a secure program I haven't used in years, a relic from a past collaboration where I helped uncover plagiarism within another production. Digital forensics isn't just a skill, it's an art form. And tonight, I'm painting a masterpiece designed to frame Lila. Using metadata manipulation tools, I create a trail linking her email account to the leaked drafts. It's meticulous work, embedding timestamps, IP addresses, and even fragments of deleted messages that suggest she orchestrated the sabotage herself. By the time I'm done, the evidence looks damningly real. If anyone investigates, they'll find exactly what I want them to. Proof that Lila tried to destroy me to claim my success as her own. The hours blur together as exhaustion sets in, but I can't stop. Not yet. Every keystroke feels like a step closer to reclaiming my power, but it also weighs heavily on my conscience. This isn't just revenge, it's warfare. And war leaves scars. "You're becoming her," a voice whispers in the back of my mind. Is that what this is? Am I stooping to her level, letting her poison seep into my soul? Or is this justice? I don't know anymore. All I know is that I can't let her win. By mid-morning, I've hidden the incriminating files deep within the shared drive, buried under layers of folders no one would think to check unless prompted. Investigators will find them easily enough if rumors escalate, but until then they remain dormant, my insurance policy against disaster. As I save the final changes, I glance at my reflection in the darkened computer screen. My eyes are bloodshot, my skin pale, and there's a hardness in my expression I barely recognize. This version of me, the strategist, the avenger, is someone I never wanted to become. Yet here I am, wielding pain like a blade because I have no other choice. For a moment, I allow myself to grieve the person I used to be, the idealist who believed in loyalty, in family, in love. That version of me died the moment I read those forged emails. Now, all that's left is survival and retribution. My phone buzzes on the desk, snapping me out of my thoughts. It's a message from Greg. The rumors are spreading faster than expected. Be ready for fallout. A cold smile tugs at my lips. Let him think he's winning. Let Lila believe she's untouchable. They have no idea what's coming. But as I close my laptop and stand to stretch, a knock sounds at the door. Startled, I freeze. Who could possibly be here this early? Slowly, I move toward the entrance and crack it open. Standing on the other side is Lila. Her arms are crossed, her expression unreadable. "We need to talk," she says quietly. The theater buzzes with energy as opening night unfolds. Backstage, I watch from the shadows, my heart pounding in rhythm with the murmurs of the crowd filling the seats. Cameras flash like strobe lights, capturing every movement, every smile. Reporters linger near the entrance, eager to document what they believe will be a scandalous evening. And they're right, though not for the reasons they think. Lila paces nearby, her usual confidence replaced by restless tension. She keeps glancing at me, her eyes darting away whenever I meet her gaze. "You okay?" I ask casually, leaning against the wall. My voice is calm, almost mocking, but inside, adrenaline courses through me like wildfire. She forces a laugh that doesn't reach her eyes. Why wouldn't I be? It's just another show. Her tone is defensive, clipped. She knows something's off, she has to, but she can't figure out how deeply she's already ensnared herself. "Good luck out there," I say lightly, giving her a small, insincere smile before walking away. As I retreat further backstage, I catch a glimpse of Greg hovering near the wings. His face is pale, his fingers twitching nervously around his phone. Whatever rumors he spread, they've taken on a life of their own, and now he looks like a man waiting for the executioner's blade to fall. The house lights dim, and the chatter fades into silence. The play begins, each line hitting its mark with precision. From my vantage point, I watch Lila deliver her lines with practiced ease at first, but then comes the pivotal scene, the confrontation between the protagonist and the antagonist. The dialogue cuts deep, mirroring our childhood fights, her jealousy, and finally her betrayal. "You think you deserve this more than I do," the protagonist says, her voice trembling with rage. "But you'll never understand what it means to create something real. All you know how to do is take." Lila freezes midline, her mouth open, but no sound coming out. For a moment, time seems to stop. Panic flashes across her face as she realizes the parallels between the script and her own actions. She stumbles over the next line, drawing confused murmurs from the audience. Sweat beads on her forehead, and her hands tremble visibly as she tries to regain composure. I feel a surge of satisfaction watching her unravel. This is what she deserves for all the lies, the manipulation, the theft of my work. Yet beneath the triumph, there's a pang of sadness. We were sisters once, bound by blood and shared dreams. Now, we're strangers standing on opposite sides of a war neither of us truly wanted. When the final curtain falls, the applause is thunderous. Critics leap to their feet, cameras flashing wildly as cast members take their bows. But backstage, chaos erupts. Reporters swarm like vultures, shoving microphones toward anyone who might spill secrets about the plagiarism scandal. Lila pushes past me, her expression desperate. "They're asking about the emails," she hisses under her breath. "What did you do?" I shrug innocently. "Me? Nothing. Maybe someone finally decided to tell the truth." Her eyes widen, panic giving way to fury. Before she can respond, a reporter steps forward, microphone in hand. "Ms. Reynolds, there are allegations circulating that your director plagiarized another playwright's work. What's your response?" All eyes turn to Lila. She hesitates, clearly unprepared for the direct question. Her lips part, then close again. I watch silently, savoring the moment. This is her reckoning, and there's nowhere left to hide. I didn't mean for it to go this far," she blurts out, her voice cracking. Gasps ripple through the room as everyone leans closer, hanging on her words. "It wasn't supposed to happen like this. She was going to ruin everything, so we had to stop her." The air turns electric. Cameras flash relentlessly as reporters shout follow-up questions. Lila looks around frantically, searching for an escape, but she's trapped. Greg appears behind her, his face ghostly white. He opens his mouth to speak, but no words come out. Whatever alliance they thought they had crumbles before our eyes. As the reporters close in, Lilia breaks down completely, tears streaming down her face. "It wasn't just me," she cries, pointing accusingly at Greg. "He helped. He forged the emails. I was just trying to protect myself." The room erupts in chaos. Reporters jostle for better angles, shouting questions faster than anyone can answer. Through it all, I stand quietly in the background, letting the storm consume them. Justice has been served, and karma has written its own ending. But as I slip away from the madness, heading toward the stage door, I pause for a moment. The weight of what's happened settles heavily on my shoulders. Revenge may taste sweet, but it leaves a bitter aftertaste. Still, I remind myself, sometimes survival demands sacrifice. And tonight I survived. The opening night feels surreal. The theater empties slowly, the hum of conversation fading into silence as the reporters and critics disperse. I linger on the stage, my fingers trailing over the edge of the velvet curtain. The scent of fresh paint mingles with the faint metallic tang of adrenaline still coursing through me. It's done. Lila's confession has been broadcast across every platform imaginable. Social media, news outlets, industry forums. There's no coming back from this for her or Greg. Reviews start pouring in almost immediately, glowing critiques that praise the raw honesty and emotional depth of the play. One critic calls it a masterclass in vulnerability and vengeance, while another declares it the most daring piece of theater this festival has seen in decades. My name is everywhere, tied not just to scandal but to brilliance. For once, I don't feel the need to shrink away from the spotlight. Backstage, the cast gathers to celebrate, their faces alight with excitement. They don't know the full story, not about Lila, not about the betrayal, but they sense that something monumental has happened. Someone hands me a glass of champagne, but I set it aside untouched. This isn't a moment for celebration. It's a moment for reflection. When the crowd thins and the noise fades, I step onto the stage one last time. The house lights are up now, revealing rows of empty seats where hundreds had sat only hours before. I take a deep breath, letting the weight of everything settle over me. The sleepless nights, the heartache, the calculated moves that brought me here. And then I bow, alone. It's not for the audience who watched tonight, it's for myself. For the girl who dreamed under covers with her sister, scribbling scripts by flashlight. For the woman who refused to let someone else write her ending. As I straighten, I whisper softly into the empty theater, "This one's for you, Lila." For those who dare to betray. Walking off stage, I feel lighter than I have in years. The ghosts of my past, my childhood rivalry, my shattered trust, my fear of failure, they stay behind in the wings, dissolving into shadows. I grab my coat and head for the exit, pausing only briefly to glance at the marquee outside. My name shines brightly against the night sky, immortalized for at least a little while. The cool air hits me as I step outside, and I pull my coat tighter around me. The streets are quiet now, the chaos of earlier replaced by calm. I walk slowly, each step feeling deliberate, purposeful. Revenge wasn't easy. It left scars I'll carry forever, but it taught me something invaluable. Resilience isn't just about surviving pain. It's about transforming it into something meaningful. As I reach the corner, I stop and look back at the theater one last time. Its grand facade looms against the darkened cityscape, a monument to dreams both realized and destroyed. Somewhere out there, Lila is packing her bags, fleeing the wreckage of her own making. But she doesn't matter anymore. Not really. What matters is this. I proved myself, not to her, not to anyone else, but to me. Betrayal may wound you, but resilience can transform pain into art. That's what I've done. That's who I am now. I turn away from the theater and keep walking, leaving behind the person I used to be. Ahead of me stretches an uncertain future. But for the first time in a long time, I'm not afraid.